Hello and welcome to the presentation of the Centennial School. Our motto is created for creative thinkers, open to the open-minded. This school is based on 21st century learning principles and ideas, and the best way for schools to develop into 21st century institutions. So first let's give you a tour. As you walk in the front gates, you can see there's a pond, just like a nice bit of natural scenery. A big part of this whole school is that there's a lot of greenery. There shouldn't be really any concrete within the school borders. I think that's something that can actually help stimulate a student's brain, is being exposed to nature. As you walk in, you hit the huge tree in the center. And this is kind of like a tree of life sort of thing, that symbolization. And if you split off onto the pathways, you get to the STEM center. If you come back over, you get to the art center. Moving down, the health center, the 21st century library, and free thinking center. Now at first you can probably see that the designs of the buildings are quite interesting, especially the STEM center and the art center and the 21st century library. That's designed in a way that students shouldn't feel like they're just thinking inside of a box. They're a part of a creative community and a community that's wanting to advance and become more creative thinkers. So within each section, in the STEM center, we encourage the use of robotics, design classes, hands-on experiments, field trips, individual projects, and in the center, teachers will have open offices, so they won't actually have a closed-off office. It'll be more like a desk in an open area. This is in a way to help teachers be more like facilitators rather than dictators in the classroom, and seem like someone that a student can just go and have a conversation with, rather than feel like they have to suck up to their teacher. If you head over to the art center, some of the facilities within the center is stage and performance spaces, studios with access to materials, and individualized courses. I've struggled to figure out how to include STEM and art together, because I feel like I don't want them to be completely separated, because they're both important. However, they do require different sort of needs. But connecting them through the pathway and getting out into the outdoors to get to each section helps a lot. If we head down to this area here, this is called the Free Thinking Center, and it's just an open space, an open building for relaxing, for talking with friends, and there will be a teacher on duty to help out with any issues, but it's really just like a student space to collect their thoughts and brainstorm. Into the 21st century library. This is one of the most important buildings of the school. It's has 3D printer, smart TVs, has access to laptops, iPads, different types of technology, and a lot of books. And if we head over to the health center, there are sports facilities such as gym, pool, and courts, which all students can use, as well as a dining hall, which now has an emphasis on healthy eating options rather than the classic junk food that is often served at canteens. So this is the basic outline. Now to touch on some of the topics. Pretty much this school has been designed for world leaders who will learn skills that can help in their careers and as adults. With both in the STEM center and the art center, with the encouragement of finding our own problems and finding solutions, is really important. And a point that was pointed out by Grant Lichtman in the book Ed Journey, he stated that a good school is like an ecosystem, how there are resources for everyone, diversity, safe environment, and a good culture for the schools. I've tried to incorporate this into the school with different resources such as the robotics department, the stage spaces, and some of the equipment that's used. Diversity, if you actually look over here, I've written it down, it says one of the key things of the school is a balance of pupil diversity, and as well, not even just that sort of diversity, but in the diversity of how to learn. So I've given a small demonstration here. There are many open spaces, but we find that some students do like to work in a closed off space. There is room for that. And a safe environment. The school is boarded, and there are walls which the school operates in to stop from external forces. However, another aspect I put in was just the idea of having open gendered bathrooms, because in the 21st century, sexuality is quite a big topic, and students of all sexualities and genders need to feel safe in their environments at school. As mentioned in a later reading we had, if a student doesn't feel comfortable in the environment, they're going to be very distracted in the classroom. So the future of learning is definitely a more innovative and more creative education. It's very experimental and individualized, and that's how we want our curriculum to be, which is why we have different curriculums for the STEM Centre and the Art Centre. I've also incorporated mixed classrooms for different ages and different levels of learning, because all children learn differently, and there are some major factors that are the reasons why some students learn better and some don't so much. But different mixed classes mean that all students are at their level of learning standard. Another point that's going to be emphasized in the school is motivating students to work well, and that's what our facilitators are for, not to teach but to more like guide students and to motivate them to push themselves further, and also to discover how they actually learn. Do they need the open space? Do they need the closed off area? Do they learn best orally or orally? In 5 keys to rigorous project-based learning, the idea of real-world situations is discussed. The main reason we have experimental and innovative areas is so that students feel like they're faced with a real-life problem, and it makes them feel important, and it also highlights the reason why education is actually important. Another important idea is the idea of theory and practice, and we understand that theory is still an important aspect of schools, but we're just going to combine that with practice in order for students to actually come up with their own creative ideas as they become advanced thinkers in the real world. These pathways are actually designed to encourage collaboration and communication. So are the open spaces, such as the Free Thinking Centre and the 21st Century Library. With these open spaces, we hope that students will start to collaborate together and work on concepts and ideas together. When there are a wider range of individuals in the classroom and everyone has a unique view, the peers can actually garner different perspectives they may not have considered in the first place. In the video Collaboration versus Cooperative Learning, the English teacher, David Olio, he states, collaboration asks students to examine, pull apart, reassemble and come up with something new, not necessarily by consensus. And hopefully the teachers who are guiding and facilitating will actually be able to focus on those topics. The environment is definitely a big part of the school. It has the people they're working with and the people who are and how the school is arranged is a big topic. It's a big way of helping students learn. So like I said previously, the natural sort of layout allows students to feel more stimulated by the material and the surroundings, but also with the people inside. Our motto is created for creative thinkers, open to the open-minded. And by having this as our thing, we're having students who are coming into the school are actually going to be the ones whose parents or themselves feel like they need to learn. And I actually hope that in the future all schools can be incorporated like this, because I think all students in a way are creative thinkers and are open-minded. And it's only when they've been influenced by schools, such as the Red Rose with Green Stem story states, that they've actually been influenced by their surroundings. Students adopt the culture of the school, and this becomes a part of their view. And that's very important because the culture of the school needs to stay positive, and it needs to stay in line with the school's mission statement and moral code, that creativity and innovation comes first, and being open-minded and willing to learn is one of the most important parts. So that is pretty much it for the tour. But I hope you enjoy the school, and I hope that that's all the concepts that have been covered. And I think it's very important that students are the ones who are taking ownership of their learning, and they are the ones who are deciding how they are going to continue learning in the future. Thank you.